It is not hard to make an omelet, and yet everyone seems scared to make them. So today I thought I would show you how to make the perfect omelet, one that is fluffy and smooth and not one that's all wonky and shaped like a brain. I'll also give you a few ideas for fillings because let's be honest, the whole point of making an omelet is to stuff it with a whole bunch of tasty fillings. So let's get started. If you've watched my favorite cookware video, you know that I rarely use nonstick pans in my kitchen. But when it comes to omelets, nonstick pans are definitely a go-to for easy flipping. So there's two pan sizes you need to keep in mind when making omelets, and the first is an 8-inch pan, which has about a 6-inch bottom diameter. And that means you'd make an omelet that's 6 inches across. And while you can use it for 3-egg omelets, I think they become a bit too thick and they're not nearly as easy to flip when you've got other ingredients inside. If I plan to make a 3 or 4 egg omelet, I'll then default to my 10-inch pan, which has about an 8-inch bottom diameter. This is a great size for one very hungry person, or an omelet that you plan on cutting in half and serving to 2 people. The great thing about omelets is that all you need are eggs and salt and pepper for a basic omelet. So crack 2 eggs into a medium mixing bowl and then season with salt and pepper. Give the eggs a quick whisk until they're lightly fluffy and then set the bowl aside. In terms of grease for the pan, you can use half a tablespoon of olive oil or avocado oil, butter or ghee, or even bacon grease, which is what I'm using today, because I love that it imparts a slightly bacony flavor into the eggs. Warm that over medium-low heat and give the pan a swirl to make sure it gets all around, and then pour the eggs into the pan. Now, before we dive into the perfect way to make an omelet, I'll show you what I see most people do, and that's sort of the scrambled egg method, where you use a spatula to slide the eggs towards the middle and then tip the pan to let the more liquidy parts slide underneath. You'd then cook this for a couple of minutes or until the top is almost set, and then flip it over. Now, don't get me wrong, this method certainly works, but as you can see, you end up with a wonky shaped omelet that has a lot of folds and cracks and crevices, and that's why I say it looks like a brain, because it kind of does. So instead, here's an approach that's super easy and works every single time. Melt your oil in the pan over medium-low heat, pour the egg mixture in, gently tip the pan to make sure the bottom is fully coated, and then turn the heat down to low and just let it sit. It should take about 2 to 3 minutes for the edges to become cooked through and the center to be almost cooked through. What you want is for the top to look a little wet but not be runny, because the eggs will continue to cook once you fold them in half. And that, my friends, is how you make the perfect omelet. You can top it with chives or herbs and then serve it right up. The process would be the same in a 10-inch pan, and I'll show you that quickly with a 3-egg omelet. After the oil has warmed, add the eggs, and again, let it just sit without any poking or prodding for 2 to 3 minutes. Then use a spatula and carefully flip it in half for one gorgeous looking omelet, although a little empty and boring if you ask me. So let's jazz up these omelets with a variety of fillings. The first one is a mushroom and spinach omelet with onions, mushrooms, spinach, and a little sprinkle of goat cheese. Add a small amount of olive oil to the pan and toss in about a 1/4 cup of sliced mushrooms and a 1/4 cup of diced yellow onion. Saute that for a couple of minutes or until the onion starts to become translucent and the mushrooms have softened. Then add half a cup of loosely packed baby spinach and saute for another minute or so until the spinach wilts down. Remove that to a small plate and then wipe the pan clean with a paper towel. Add fresh oil to the pan and repeat the steps I just showed you for how to make an omelet. Once the omelet is almost cooked through, add the sauteed toppings to half of the omelet, just spreading them across, and then top with about a tablespoon or so of crumbled goat cheese. Flip the omelet in half over the filling, and if you'd like, sprinkle a little chopped parsley on top before serving it up. Our next flavor is a classic, and that's a Western omelet with ham, red and green bell pepper, red onion, and freshly grated Parmesan. Add a drizzle of olive oil to the pan and toss in 2 tablespoons each of diced red bell pepper and diced green bell pepper, along with 2 tablespoons of diced red onion. Saute those for a few minutes until they're softened, and then add a 1/4 cup of diced ham. And you can buy a single slice of ham steak at the market. It's usually where packaged bacon is. Then quickly dice it up. The ham is already cooked, you just need to warm it through, and then transfer the filling to a small plate and wipe the pan clean. Add fresh oil to the pan along with 2 whisked eggs, and after 2 to 3 minutes, when the top is nearly set, add the filling ingredients across half of the omelet. Once that's done, add a tablespoon or so of grated Parmesan cheese, fold the Western omelet in half, and sprinkle some fresh herbs on top before serving it up. The last flavor is a Tuscan omelet, and it's a mix of sun-dried tomatoes, yellow onion, baby spinach, fresh pesto, and feta cheese. Add a drizzle of oil to the pan and then toss in a 1/4 cup of diced yellow onion. Sauté it for a few minutes or until the onion becomes translucent, then add a 1/4 cup of diced sun-dried tomatoes and about a 1/2 cup of loosely packed baby spinach. Sauté that for another minute until the spinach wilts down, then remove it to a small plate and wipe the pan clean. Add fresh oil, butter, or grease to the pan, pour in the eggs, let them cook for 2 to 3 minutes until the top is almost set. I think you guys should be a pro at this by now. And then place the filling ingredients on half of the omelet. Add a tablespoon of fresh basil pesto, and I have a separate recipe for this on my website if you need one. Then add a tablespoon of crumbled feta cheese. Fold the omelet in half, admire how gorgeous it looks, and then sprinkle it with freshly chopped herbs before serving. Those are 3 really quick and easy flavor combinations that I personally love, but I'd love to hear in the comments below what your favorite omelet filling ingredients are or what you normally order at restaurants. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends. I also hope you feel more confident making a perfect omelet in your own kitchen, and I can't wait to see photos of your omelets across social media.